Known as the godfather of LinkedIn video and one of the world's top video marketing experts, Brian has been on the internet since it was green screen and chat rooms and has 21 years of proven digital marketing experience strategizing with IR 500 and Fortune 500 brands across the globe. A Forbes featured entrepreneur and LinkedIn top voice, Brian is the founder and CEO of Voice Your Vibe. He serves on a number of boards and is a trusted advisor and mentor to founders and companies across the world. Named a 2019 LinkedIn Video Creator of the Year, Brian is one of the pioneering top LinkedIn video and LinkedIn Live creators in the world and is a sought-after international speaker who does speaking engagements through the year. In July 2019, he broke the LinkedIn Live record, broadcasting live for more than 4 hours. Now, through workshops and one-on-one mastery coaching, Brian teaches founders and C-suite executives who want to find your voice, show up, and don't know how to voice your vibe, attract their tribe, and tell a story that people fall in love with on LinkedIn through video.
Absolute honor to be here and with all of you. I am super excited for this today. Yeah, absolutely. So LinkedIn Video launched in alpha in June of 2017, and LinkedIn Live launched in beta in February of just 2019. So today, just some quick stats, right? I'm a fan of these things. There are 655 million business professionals on LinkedIn. There are 250 million quote unquote active users, 1% that is creating content. So LinkedIn is absolutely the most organic platform on the planet today, and there is no better time than now to show up and be present. Reasons why: because 80% of content consumed online is through video. Videos help build brand awareness. 90% use video to make product purchasing decisions. And social videos generate 12 times the shares of text and image combined. The other thing that's interesting too is, according to insights from LinkedIn, video is the fastest growing content type on the platform, right? As we've all seen, it's also 5 times more likely to generate conversations with fellow LinkedIn fam members, and it's 20 times more likely to be reshared. So when it comes to beta of things like LinkedIn Video, in the very first year, I think they generated more than 300 million impressions on the platform just from those folks that were showing up. So impressive engagement, right? Impressive stats. Those aside though, video marketing has really been shown to boost revenue across social platforms. Aberdeen Group mentioned the fact that brands use video marketing to grow their revenue 49% faster than companies that don't. So, I mean, if you're not on video, you've got to get on video, and you've got to get on LinkedIn Video. So I'm going to hit it on two sides. I'm going to hit native video, LinkedIn Video, and then LinkedIn Live. All right. So LinkedIn Video, I'm going to bounce around a couple different things. So one, I'm going to give you 5 tips to becoming one of the top LinkedIn video creators in the world. First thing is, tip number 1, show up and be human. Tip number 2, engage in support, build community, shine your light bright on others. It is always about the people, regardless of what social platform you're on, but especially on LinkedIn. Tip number 3 is create. You have a voice in a story that matters, and a voice and story that can positively impact, affect, and inspire another human being's life. Show up on video, share your stories. It's all about relatability. Talk about what you're interested in. Talk about what you're excited about. Talk about what you're passionate about. And remember, 60 seconds or less is your best friend when it comes to video. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Tip number 4, consistency is key. Create a content strategy and a calendar to create a level of consistency that works for you, because what works for me may not be right for you. You want to find your own groove and follow that, because when you show up consistently, your tribe knows when you're going to show up. All right, tip number 5 is collaborate. Incredible things happen when we come together. If you are on the platform, you see it happening, be a part of that. All right, so those are 5 tips to becoming one of the top LinkedIn video creators in the world. I'm going to give you some other best practices, just kind of digging down into the weeds a little bit. So number 1 is optimize your setup. Before you get into selfie mode or hitting that record button, there's a few things that you should consider. Lighting. I have natural light coming into this room right now. I actually also have lights on as well so that you can see me, right? If you're in a pinch, artificial light works well, but natural light is prime. Just make sure you look out for shadows if you're using lights in a room. Also, make sure that you're not backlit. Otherwise, you'll look like a silhouette in the room and no one will be able to see you. Camera position wise, no one wants to see up your nose, right? So take a test video, adjust your phone or your computer, or if you have a tripod, and you can add or remove, for example, makeshift something, right? Put some books together and put your camera set up on top of that. Some really quick, easy ways to be able to do those things without having to go and buy a bunch of gear. Speaking of camera, if you're recording from your phone, use the rear camera. It actually helps to enhance the quality of your videos. Most phones have a larger aperture or a higher resolution from the rear cam. You can also use a tripod or, again, makeshift them out with some books or something else to help keep the camera steady, because if it's rocking around like you're in a car the whole time, you might make somebody a little queasy. Background is something that's good to put into play too, right? Because you are a character in the story, as is your background, right? You'll notice I have a LinkedIn water bottle over here. I've got LinkedIn gear on. It's all a part of this story and part of the backdrop, if you will. So try to avoid a cluttered or distracted background. Also, if you're shooting, for example, in an office environment, make sure that there's no confidential materials on the wall or any brand logos you don't want to show off. You know, you don't necessarily want to inadvertently endorse a brand that isn't one that your company is with, right? And then body language. It's interesting. There was some research by a psychologist, Albert Mehrabian. Hopefully, I'm not botching his name, but he found that 55% of communication is actually transmitted through body language. 7% of that is given through your words. 38% is through the tone that you're giving off. So look directly at the camera, smile. Remember, you have your own unique voice, your own unique smile. Nobody else has in the world. Is your signature, is your trademark. Use that. And then just, breathe naturally. It's okay to be nervous. Everybody gets nervous. And by the way, it's a good thing to kind of share because it makes you relatable, right? And it's all about relatability. Aim to capture the attention right from the get-go, guys, right? Try to include a hook within the first couple seconds. Take advantage of using things like thumbnail images. So as an example, I might be like, and that might be the screenshot that I take, and I put that on the front with some words, because when you're scrolling through your feed, there's a lot of stuff going on. You want to capture their attention right from the get-go and capture the attention right when you hit record. That being said, put some essential information up front, right? It's the first 3 lines of your post are what is seen before you hit the more button. So capitalize on that real estate. Plan to share something that's going to grab their attention. There's some great stats about that kind of stuff. We don't have to get into it right now, but remember to grab their attention right from the get-go with visual imagery, your first 3 lines. And then right below that, you can plan to share a message, show your audience what you want them to see early on. It'll also increase the likelihood of leaving an impression with your viewers. Okay, design for sound that's off. Okay, up to 85% of social media videos are played with no sound at all. You're on the go, you don't have headphones, you don't want people listening to whatever you're watching. So they're going to be watching your videos on LinkedIn as if it's a old school silent movie, right? So include descriptive images, some explanatory type graphics or infographics, or again, express your body language. Like I said, right? I might do something like that, or even in your video, that way people can come along with you. Now, that being said too, you want to include closed captions. So even if your video isn't really speech heavy, closed captions really help to make them more accessible, right? For those that are hearing impaired. Or when you're unable to gain access to sound at the time, but still you want to experience that video through imagery and text. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. LinkedIn has been testing SRT for some time now via desktop delivery, which a number of creators have tried out and used. Very simply, to add captions, you click the video icon where you'd go to upload natively in the share box on desktop specifically, and you choose the video you want to share. When the preview shows up, you click the little edit icon on the top to see the video settings, and then you click to select the file to attach that subtitle file to it. Now, that's if you're doing through the SRT through LinkedIn. YouTube is a route as well via their .sit. You can use other things like apps such as Clips for iOS. It's free. There's great video text captioning automatically. as well. It's actually the only one I found in addition to another iOS app called Clip-O-Matic, which you pay for. It's great because it's actually 60-second max, which gets you really good at that whole taking videos in 60 seconds. But be aware sometimes text can lump up if you're talking too fast. It's a typical thing that happens, but those are all great options. There's also some great third-party companies out there that have subtitle captioning as a service. Companies like Quick, QUICC. There's another company called Subtitle. Again, just a couple examples. And then with regards to Android, AutoCap app, Fistin text transcription app, and then Quick as well does captioning from a service perspective for Android. Okay, vary your shots too, right? It's good to have consistency, but from a shooting perspective, right, a single shot, it can get boring. And with viewers dropping off by the seconds, you want to vary your shot. It's a great way to keep people engaged, right? Everybody's on the go. So even if you're shooting an interview, take a couple seconds and record from different angles, right? Take them from the side, take it from the front, take it from the back if it's relevant, right? If you're at a speaking engagement, that's always a cool thing to look at to see the audience and such. And then B-roll. B-roll is a great thing to use under things like voiceover as well. All right, choose the right video length. We've talked about this a little bit. According to LinkedIn, the most successful video ads are somewhere between 15, 30 seconds. I say 60 seconds because you can really say a lot in 60 seconds. Most importantly, everyone has 60 seconds. Not everyone, believe it or not, has 2 minutes when they're on the go or longer. You could have a max of up to 10 minutes to make a video. Don't do that when you're getting started, guys. Do that once you are far down the road, because if people haven't fallen in love with you yet, they're not going to watch a 10-minute video. A couple other things to consider when it comes to native video for brand awareness, brand consideration when it comes to videos. Again, keep it around 60 seconds. I would also say just tell a good story. It's the most important thing you can do. Everybody loves a good story. Nobody wants to be sold to, okay? Close with a strong call to action. What is it that you want your viewers to do after they've watched your video? Leave them with something very clear in terms of direction. I recommend one call to action. You don't want to confuse people. And also, not only speak that in your video as kind of the last thing you say, but make sure you put it in the body of the text as well. Then take that question and drop it in the first comment to spark the engagement. Okay, the other thing is, again, don't forget your supporting copy, just as I was talking about. You don't want to miss the opportunity to describe your video and drive home a message. You have a max of up to 1,300 characters that you have to work with. Lastly, use things like hashtags and tagging people. Relevant companies or members in your caption that you're putting there. It's a useful way to be able to increase your reach and exposure for your videos to be seen by more people, not just in who you tag, but also the hashtags, because that drops you into categories that otherwise you just wouldn't have been seen of. That people go, I love content that is about hashtag entrepreneurs. And if that hashtag is in your video, boom, you will show up under that content. Okay, so that's native video. Real quick, I want to hit LinkedIn Live in terms of best practices. So choose a relevant topic, guys. Okay, knowing your audience is key for creating engaging content. On LinkedIn, the audience consists largely of really educated, business-minded people, right? Students, there's a huge student population, as well as folks in the hospitality world too. It really runs the gambit, right? Because again, 655 million business professionals, from the founder to the funder, the chairman, the janitor, everybody in between. So know that you've got a wide audience. Stick to topics that are interesting to you, right? Because when you speak about something that's interesting, you're going to feel that through the lens. The only thing missing when it comes to any kind of video is you can't smell the person, because we don't have smell-o-vision yet, and you can't touch the person because we can't reach through the screen. But the reality is you can touch those people that are watching your videos live or native. You can touch them with your heart. When you come from your heart, it is really the heart of it all that matters. You can feel that, okay? So again, knowing your audience is key to creating some relevant content. Look at your audience. Look at what types of content resonates most with them, both for live and native video. Ask them, what would you like to see on a LinkedIn Live show or on my videos, right? Because then you can cater your content in that way to them. Choose a unique topic like I shared, right? You can post live video on many platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, right? That doesn't mean the same video is going to work for all three platforms. So make sure that you're creating original content for LinkedIn. Topics that maybe you wouldn't cover someone else, right? Share Q&As with different teams within your company, HR hiring initiatives, share partner announcements, right? Maybe you've just hired someone in your company, a new executive, right? Those are great things to do. You want to bring your audience with you, which brings me to the last point about that, which is take people behind the scenes. It's one of the things I love to do with LinkedIn Live, because if they can't be there standing next to you, the next best thing is to take them with you through a live stream, to go behind the scenes with you, or whether it's hosting a live Q&A, again, like I said, with a leadership team. Set a schedule when it comes to LinkedIn Live. The same thing applies to video as well, but with live and video, consistency is key, you guys. When it comes to the effective marketing aspects that you want to take, plan to stream at a set time, be it each day, week, month, same bat time, same bat channel, right? That way your followers know what to expect, or I would say when to expect the next awesome live video stream that you're going to show up and share. You can even create a recurring show, right? So again, like I said, same bat time, same bat channel. Cross promote. Leave yourself time to promote before you go live. Reach out to your LinkedIn family and community across multiple platforms. That includes any social channels that you've got, as well as a newsletter, your website. Tailor your voice, your tone to each platform to get the best results, because again, every platform is unique and different in its own way. You want to mobilize your LinkedIn fam, right? Make sure that you get the word out. Invite followers, employees, partners, other connections to follow your profile, right? Because that's where you're going to go live, or your company page. That way you'll get notifications. I should say they'll get notifications as soon as you go live. Schedule some promotional posts too. Usually a couple days before is good. Tag any, for example, if you have a guest speaker, tag them or their pages, right? Give them love, and add a few strategically chosen hashtags. Keep the hashtags specific, keep them relevant, on brand. Don't forget to include the hashtag LinkedIn Live, right? Because those are all things that are very, very important. I want to say practice, right? Practice is something that's good to do. The best way you practice is just start. Don't worry about being perfect. We are all perfectly imperfect just the way we are. So just start. Slip ups happen, especially in live video, right? Don't rehearse too much, you guys, okay? Just go with it, because then you get stuck in your head. If you're going solo, create a list of key points that you want to cover during that stream. If you're interviewing a guest speaker, send in the questions in advance, right? Organize a practice run through, right? Help everybody get a little bit more comfortable, but keep things fresh. Again, don't rehearse too much. Authenticity is so important when it comes to any kind of video, especially from a social perspective. Try and avoid memorizing things word for word. Again, you want your video to be natural, more engaging, and it definitely will be that way. With live, go long, right? 60 seconds or less is best for native video, but with live video, you want to go longer. It can take a bit time for viewers to join and start interacting. You want to aim for at least 15 minutes. I would say even 30, so that folks have time to settle in. Okay, so I have streamed on LinkedIn for 4 hours, because that is the max that you can actually stream through the third-party platforms that you connect up to. But those were at events, in my case, streaming behind the scenes and just walking around and talking to people. And it was basically, they were impromptu interviews, right? And it allowed you to meet all these amazing people. Repeat the discussion topic, right? Because your video is live, the chances are not everyone's going to be caught and coming in right in the beginning. You want to reintroduce your discussion topic a few times during your stream. That way you can be sure everybody's up to speed. They jump in, they're like, wait a minute, where are you? What's going on? So just keep that in the back of your head all the time. Write a great description. Create a brief description to accompany your video while you're streaming. Now, some of these third-party platforms that you're streaming through have a pre kind of thing set up there, like restreaming on or going live on, and you can change that within each of the platforms. It's a little bit different. Go in there and learn that stuff. And remember, I would recommend that you actually create your copy in advance. Then you can just copy paste, drop it in there, and you're good to go right out of the gates. Again, include the information right up front. Like I said, LinkedIn hides most of your description out of the gate. So front load it, write it up to take advantage of that prime real estate out of the gate so people know not only that you're live, but what you're talking about. Brief overview, add some keywords, some speaker names above the fold. Again, the first 3 lines of your post are what people see before they hit the more button. And then use the rest of the description to add a couple of hashtags. Again, don't forget LinkedIn Live. You can also outline any key points, helpful links, video highlights. Drop emojis in there too. It makes things fun. It's easier to see too versus just a lot of jumbled up text. And then include a stellar call to action, right? Just like we talked in native video. You can also use one in the live itself, but make sure it's clear, compelling language that urges that viewer to actually do something specific, right? You could encourage them to tag a friend or subscribe or promote a new product. If you're promoting a new product or an event or a white paper or a blog post or whatever it may be, ask people where they're chiming in from. It's a great way to spark engagement. And then make sure that you optimize your LinkedIn presence, you guys. Okay, because a great video can generate lots of traffic, native or live. You want to make sure your presence is ready for it. So if you're an individual, go through your LinkedIn profile or your channel carefully. Use a professional headshot. And I don't mean you have to hire a professional. I mean, LinkedIn gives you a great way to be able to very easily make your photo look great. Just put you in the photo. Don't crop you out of some wedding or something like that. Okay, you want it to just be you. And that'll help grab people's attention. If you're an organization, make sure that you've filled out your entire page, right? According to insights from LinkedIn, a completed company page receives 30% more views versus an incomplete one. So start with a compelling profile, a banner image, take advantage of that real estate. It's prime. Add an engaging about us section, include relevant keywords where possible. Those are all things that are really important just from a best practices perspective, both around LinkedIn video as well as LinkedIn Live. And I'll add one more thing just from a technical point of view with live. Make sure that you have at least 2 devices available before you stream. You're going to need one for streaming the video and one for monitoring the live comments because you have to go through a third party. You want to know what's happening in engagement. The other thing that's really good to do, by the way, is have someone chime in with you to be able to help with the comments while you're streaming, because you only have so many hands and one brain. You can't interact typing, and if you can, you're amazing, typing and talking at the same time. The other thing, as I mentioned again too, is sign up for a third-party broadcasting tool to create your videos. For those that are just getting started, Switcher Studio is awesome. I'm a huge fan of them. I use them. They are prime for mobile. The other ones you can use too are there's companies like Social Live, as well as oh my God, totally just drawing a blank, and that's terrible because I've used them. Gage is their CEO. They have a duck as their logo, and terrible that I can't remember it. So maybe we'll cut that out. Anyway, strong internet connection is really key, you guys, for live especially. But lighting, camera position, the quality, you can just use your phone. Again, I'm a prime example. Everything I do is on mobile. Make sure your audio is good. And then again, background, if you're live, whether you're in an office, on the go, whatever, remember those things that we talked about. I've made over 500 videos on LinkedIn in 2 years, being one of the pioneers of LinkedIn video. Well, and LinkedIn Live too, but from a native video perspective, I have never made a video unless I've been inspired by something or someone. Otherwise, it's not genuine, authentic in me. So for me, it's not about catering to the audience, if you get what I'm saying. It's more, am I inspired to share this? And my videos are all about bringing people together. Like, I love getting together with LinkedIn fam all over the world and making videos. I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's just, I want to make as many videos as I can. And we never know what we're going to talk about when we're together, which is all part of the fun of it, right? Because you never know what's going to happen. But that is, inspiration is everything to me. It's my why, which is to inspire one person a day on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn every day for the last 16 years, and it's always been my purpose. It wasn't about doing business. It was about inspiring people. And so much business has come from showing up the way that I have and with my why. So I encourage you to know your why. Your why should not just be, I'm here to do business. I want to do business videos. Everybody does, right? That's have a deeper purpose, have a deeper meaning, a deeper mission, because it will drive everything that you do. And again, it will bleed through the lens, right? It's the power of video. But from a step-by-step perspective, again, that is the first step. If I'm not inspired, I'm not going to make a video, right? When I am inspired, and again, it says a lot to know that I've made 500 videos, which is all inspired by you, right? My LinkedIn fam. So native video, that's the case. What I would say is this for folks just in general. I always talk about vibes, right? A company is voice your vibe. We all have our own vibes. I mentioned you have a voice in a story that matters and a voice in a story that can positively affect, impact, and inspire another human being's life, both in receiving and giving, right? So knowing that, know that everyone has their own vibes, and 5 is a good number. So just think about it this way, right? You may love hiking and biking. You may be a parent, right? Remember, it's all about relatability. Forget business for a second. This is all about human first, because before the name, the title, the job, the role, the company, we're human beings first. We all have heartbeats. So it's all about how we can relate to people, because people do business with people they like, know, and trust. So remember, when it comes to video, that those are all things that are really important in all forms and fashions. The other thing that I think is really important to remember is the fact that, in this digital age that we live in, it's not just about giving someone your card anymore, right? In like a physical card. This digital age, it's people not buying what you do, they buy why you do it. Simon Sinek said that. And remember that your smile is actually your logo, your personality is actually your business card. And then how you leave others feeling after an experience with you, that is your trademark. Video is amazing because it's not about what you're saying. People may actually forget what it is that you're saying, but they're never going to forget how you make them feel. And Maya Angelou said that, and I think it's just so true. So when you're putting your videos together, remember those things. It's the root of everything. It's the heart of it all that matters. And if you're coming from your heart, whether you're a business, a brand, a team, an individual, you're never going to go wrong. Yes, so you can find me on LinkedIn, right? I always recommend connect with me, send me a personalized invite, let me know this is where you found me. The other thing too is I want to actually give you a couple free giveaways. So giveaway number 1 is I created a LinkedIn Jumpstart course with my dear friend Rob Balasabas. It is 15 free lessons filled with nuggets to get you newbies to LinkedIn, or if you've been around, you've had a profile, but you didn't realize LinkedIn is about engagement and video, and I got to get on this thing. It's a great way to get you started. You will find that link provided here. It's linkedinmasterclass.thinkific.com. The other free giveaway is if you have questions about how to LinkedIn video, how to LinkedIn Live for you, for your business, and you want to talk video strategy, I am giving you a 15 free minute consultation with me. You can go to calendly.com/voiceyourvibe. If the time is available, my time is yours. And I really, really look forward to having conversations with you all and talking soon.